Right now, I'm giving away two $50 Amazon gift cards. If you guys want the chance to win, drop a like on this video and also let me know by leaving a comment one thing which you would like to see in GTA 6. And in a week's time, I'll choose two people at random and contact them on YouTube. I wish you guys the best of luck, but without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. What is going on, guys? My name is Chaotic and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be discussing Grand Theft Auto 6 and a few things which I would like to see in the future GTA game. Now yes, we're still a few years away from receiving any information, let alone the actual game itself, but that doesn't mean we can't start discussing the game and various ideas and features we'd like to see in the game itself. I have plenty of things I'd like to share with you, and I know you guys will love them. And I'm sure you guys will have loads of your own ideas as well. Be sure to let me know about these ideas by leaving a comment on this video. But anyway, let's get straight into things. So let's start this video off by discussing the location and the map design itself. Now I'm sure all of you guys have your own ideas and opinions on where the next game should be located and how the map should be. I know most people love to see multiple islands and various different cities where we can fly between those cities and islands, and to be fair, it is a pretty good idea. But my favourite concept so far that I have seen is this one right by here. This was created around about a year ago and shared on the GTA forums, and as you guys can see, the map itself is shaped just like the USA, and it features various different cities from previous GTA games. As you guys can see in the bottom left hand corner, you have Los Santos. On the right hand side, of course, you've got Liberty City from GTA 4. In the bottom right hand corner, you have Miami or Vice City from GTA 3, and so on. But I must say, this concept is absolutely amazing. You can of course take a closer look at this for yourselves if you want to. There will be a link in the description, but honestly, there aren't really enough words to describe how good this map design is. And I think it's safe to say we'd also be very satisfied if GTA 6 had a map not just of this design, but of this size as well. The number of possibilities would simply be endless. In fact, I could sit here all day long and tell you guys how amazing a map like this would be and all the different features we could possibly have with something like this. But what's more important is what Rockstar said a few years ago. Around about the release of GTA 5, they were discussing possible future locations for GTA 6 and where they'd like to take the game in the future. And they said themselves it is very unlikely they'd ever base a future GTA game in a non-US city. At the time, suggestions such as London, Paris, and Tokyo were being made, but Rockstar's response was simply that these cities did not match the style that a GTA game had or needed, and that's why future city locations would be limited to just those in the US. But speaking on behalf of the entire community, rather than just setting the game in one city location, why not have the entire US as the map? Now I'm sure there will be a few people watching this video and thinking that maybe a map of this size will be a little too big. Not just because of the technical limitations, and we'll talk about that a little later on, but surely it would be almost impossible to fully explore a map if it was of this size. But you have to remember that GTA games are made to last. Not just a few weeks like with most games, but years. Look at GTA 5 for example. The game itself was released over 3.5 years ago and it's still very popular today. Now of course when GTA 5 was first released, the map itself was considered fairly big. Right now though, I'm sure you guys would agree, it doesn't feel quite as big as it did a few years ago, but that's because other games have been released since which now have bigger maps. Now yes, I'm sure if Rockstar was to make a map just like this one, it wouldn't be quite so big, cities wouldn't be quite so spaced apart as they are in this concept, but bearing in mind, this is simply just a concept. And I personally love the concept, there is certainly loads of potential with this, and I'm sure you guys will agree. But a map of this size offers so much potential and so many possibilities. So for example, what Rockstar could do is offer different things in different cities. So for example, right now like it is in GTA 5, you can purchase apartments, you can do heists and races and stuff in Los Santos. But then for example, you take a road trip or maybe fly to Liberty City, where there'd also be properties to purchase like apartments, and you could also do heists and things like that, but there'd also be separate activities which are only available in this location. Now, another reason I also like the idea about a big map like this one with various different cities is that the story mode will also be open to so many other possibilities and ideas. So for example, just like with GTA 5, where we have 3 separate characters, we of course start off with Franklin if we exclude the prologue, do various different missions with him until eventually we meet Michael. We then of course do a few missions as Michael until eventually we meet Trevor. Then of course all 3 characters come together and do various different tasks and missions together. So similar to this, there can also be 3 main protagonists in GTA 6, possibly even more based upon how many major cities there are in the game, where each character is assigned to each city. So for example, when you start playing the game, you might start off as one character in Liberty City. You'll have to complete so many missions and then you swap across to play as a separate character. Maybe this person this time could be in Los Santos, where again you do so many missions and then swap across to another character who maybe this time could be in Vice City, and you complete those missions. And once you've completed all of these missions, then maybe you come together with all the other characters where you start performing missions together. This may sound a little confusing, but I'm sure you guys get the point. And what I have in mind is pretty awesome, if I may say so myself. Or alternatively, as opposed to having just 3 characters, you'd have 3 separate teams of characters, and instead of just playing as each character, you'd select one particular team and play as those characters. So in theory, you'd have 3 different stories to choose between, and between those 3 different stories, you'd have 3 characters who of course have their own stories. Which possibly sounds even more confusing, but basically you would choose one particular team at the start of the game, and you'd play as this team, and this one team would then be opposing the other 2 teams. And each team of course would have their own city and territory. Now this may sound a little complicated and maybe a little far-fetched, but there's actually a huge possibility that GTA 6 might be just like this. In case you didn't know, when GTA 5 Online was first being developed, it was going to be separated up into 3 territories. So basically when you first loaded into GTA Online, as opposed to just creating your character, you'd also select which territory or which gang you wanted to be a part of. The choices being between the police, the Lost MC, and the Vagos. But this idea was completely scrapped and is what it is today. But who knows, maybe Rockstar will explore this in GTA 6 in the story mode, maybe even the online feature. Anyway, but moving on to something else I'd also like to see in GTA 6. Now I'm sure it goes without saying, but I'd like to see all the previous features currently available in GTA 5 make their way into GTA 6. Starting all the way from the basics to the most complex of stuff, things such as the option to purchase cars, going to customize them, of course the option to store them in garages, the option to purchase properties, apartments and things like that, the option to set up organizations, heists, and so on. But one major feature I would like to see be added into GTA 6 is of course the option to create our very own apartments and houses. I know right now we can purchase apartments in most buildings in GTA Online, and sure we can customize them to a certain degree. Basically we select one of numerous templates. But in GTA 6, I want to see the option or the feature where we can build our very own apartments and houses so we can fully customize them to our liking. Now, being able to customize apartment or house interiors is certainly a good start, but ideally, I want to see the option where we can fully build our very own apartments or houses in the game. Now yes, again, I know there are many limitations for this, especially on the game coding side of things and the servers, but technically it is possible. Now if you guys have ever played H1Z1 or seen some footage of it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But basically when you load the game up, if you want to play online, you get the option to choose a server. So for example, for the UK there's maybe 5 servers and you can choose any one you want to play on. But bearing in mind, if you play on one and then transfer to another one, it doesn't transfer your progress and all the items which you have on one server to the other. It is completely different. And potentially GTA 6 could work in a very similar way. So when you load the game up, if you want to play online, you'd have to select between a number of servers. And then once you choose a server, on that particular server you can do whatever you wanted. So for example, if you had enough money and enough resources, you could then build a house in the middle of nowhere. But bearing in mind, once you leave that server and then go to a different one, that house would not transfer. It would be permanent on that one server. But I'm sure with some things, it could be transferred over from server to server, such as your weapons, your stats, the amount of money which you had, and so on. Now yes, I know something like this isn't perfect and there would be loads of issues with it, but nevertheless, I still think it's a really cool idea, which in some way could surely be implemented to work with GTA 6. But the main issue with this idea, and of course having a huge map the size of the USA, would of course be the technical limitations, especially on consoles. For example, when GTA 5 was first made, it was made specifically for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and initially the map itself was going to be a lot bigger, but unfortunately those consoles could not support the game being that size. But since then we've got a completely new generation of platforms, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and of course the PC Master Race, which can now handle a lot more. And by the time that GTA 6 is released, it's possible we'll have a new generation again, which should be able to handle even more. And with that in mind, the number of people per lobby would also be a lot more than what we can currently have now. Anyway, but with that being said guys, that's pretty much it then for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I want to get your thoughts and feelings first of all on these ideas. Do you guys like them? Do you approve of them? Let me know right now by leaving a comment. And like I said before, if you guys have any ideas yourselves for what you would like to see in GTA 6, let me know about these by leaving a comment on the video. It would also be greatly appreciated if you guys could also drop a like on this video, as it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd recommend that you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.